Hey Miles, staying up late on the weekend. Coda, you're actually second. Haha. From my perspective, which is the only true reference, Miles got in earlier. See, we've got a music affidencio here. Right. Alright, so we have this. Wow, that is a very dark. Yeah, it's not too bad. I'm gonna leave it be. I'll mess things up if I change things. Hey, can you? By the way, Coda, I don't recall getting an email from you. I do need that email so I can sort out your license. Okay, so we've got a 165. I believe this one has problems with the light, as in MagSafe, and I would bring up the job data, but unfortunately my server seems to have taken a walk onto the other side for now. Tagged you on Discord. Oh, okay. Alright then. So I'm just going to plug this in, see if we have any sort of activity that may be useful. Yeah, it just reminds me I better set my voltages back because I've been doing short detection. Sometimes I consider I should actually get a separate power supply for short detection, just simply so I never have that accident risk. Let's see, let's plug the chipmunk in. See if it's going to chatter. Put the power on. Yeah. Yeah. And oh geez, bloody classic 32 milliamp. What is this? Dead SMC? Dead PCH? Continuity is not the appropriate mode to use when you're trying to test voltage. 344, running fractionally high. God, I hate that. 8 points. Okay, SMC is up. Everything else is up. We're not coming up. So what have we got? Missing PM sleep S4L. That's just what we need. You got 9 MacBooks delivered today. Holy dooly. That's a little excessive, don't you think? And indeed, PM Sleep S4L is absent. Okay. The much dreaded scenario. Alright then, well, before we go probing, we will first start looking and seeing if anything jumps out in front of us. It could of course just be a dead CPU, a dead PCH. So many things could be. Okay, we've got a wire job there. Alright. So naturally it's our TPS 51980, which probably means we've got a dead CPU. Oh, that sucks. There's junk under the backlight thing, but it's not even coming into play yet. Oh, 16-inch. Whoops. Yeah, okay, that wasn't supposed to. Yeah, that's the old data. I actually managed to get that one working. I find that I get a greater success rate with those 820 1700s and 1041s and things like that if people haven't prior worked on them. I find what's happening is that people are prior working on them, they see one shorted cap on the VREG for the SSD, they knock it off, and then the system tries to boot again, it pumps the wrong voltage into the NANDs and kills them. So there are people out there who are getting really close to fixing those machines, but unfortunately they don't take the second step or the third step, and subsequently they're killing the data when just a few more steps and they would have saved it. It's kind of sad. I'm really not sure what to do about it. Yeah, I am thinking this is... Oops. Missing PM sleep URL. It's always a dreadful thing to have. Alright, let's plug it back in, see if we've got 3v3 RTC. And I've got a feeling it's probably going to show up as 342 instead of 3v3. Coda, no, the caps don't really need to be there. That's not the problem. What's happening is that people are just, say, removing the one side and they're not checking to see if the resistance on the NAND side is around about 450 plus. And then they're also not replacing the regulator, the VREG. And so what happens is that VREG probably gets damaged during the whole situation, and it doesn't regulate properly thereafter. And so when they put the power on, it goes, sure thing, we're up and running, and then it sends the wrong sort of power through and kills the NANDs. Okay, let's see. I'm guessing 342 will show up here. Ooh, wrong I was. Okay, that's a promising thing actually. That missing is actually a good thing. If only I can remember which... Okay, 3.4, okay, so 342 is getting into here, but we're not getting into out. Now, the question is, if that's shorted, it's all over. If it's not shorted, we have a chance. Okay, maybe it's not all over. Maybe it's shorted. I'll take the chip off and I'll take the cap off, and if it's still shorted, then that's a dead PCH. Probably. Yeah, just be extra careful with that series, you know, with the TPS 62180s. Make sure you replace the controllers, and always check both the supply resistance, which should also be around about 450, 600, and the output resistance, which would be 400 to 600 or so. Most of the time when it's wrong, it's going to be anything under 20 ohms. Anything under 20 ohms is dead. Yep, Pilnov knows this one well. We'll take it off and the cap and we'll see, but most likely this is a destroyed PCH. Most likely. Hey, I pressed the button. It's okay, we do have more after this. Warren, I have actually started adding it to the open board data. There's a couple of boards that I've already done it on. Well, that's a 9mm nozzle. I find it pretty good for MacBooks. A little bit over the top for iPhones. Okay, we actually have an open circuit here, so there is a small but potentially measurable chance this is fixable. However, it's likely that when that went, whatever caused it to go, it also took out a PCH, or part of it. Well, if you're on 8mm, that's pretty close, isn't it? It's a trap. You know it is, Mal, but I've got to go for it. You know I've got to. It's an obligation. Now, of course, the fun thing here is to find a logic board that still has that chip. I mean, I've got a lot of donor boards for this series, but I also have replaced this chip a lot. That is in a surprisingly good condition. Shockingly good condition, actually. I bought an iPhone 6s, only swollen battery and boot loop. Depends, it may be. It could also be... there's a couple of other things that can cause it. If you disconnect everything and just have the screen and yeah, just do a few isolation tests. It may just be the battery, it might be TriStar, could be Tigris, it could be bad NAND as well. Hey Tony W. Because this is the big difference between iPhones and MacBooks. If I was using that much hot air on an iPhone for that long, we would basically have already disassembled the iPhone. Now obviously this is very wonky. It'll come good. I do quite like the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus. I still use them. I mean, my personal one's a 7 Plus, but they're still good phones. I guess the real problem is going to be when Apple decides to no longer do any security updates and they just shut things down on you. Right, I need that cap that's next to it now. Our CNC machine has not even done its first... It hasn't even done its first chips yet. So it's not going anywhere at the moment. Unfortunately, I'm just exceedingly burdened with both work and also there's a lot of household things I've got to do. And we have our solar installation connection happening on Tuesday, and because we have to have the mains box replaced and then also have the line that goes up to the post on the street upgraded, it's going to be a 4-hour to 6-hour don't know what to do with myself thing. Thankfully, at least it's going to be happening in cooler weather. Would not like to be doing that in summer. Oh, 16 quid for a 6S, that's pretty good going. That's actually very good going. Yeah, 6 hours without power, it's going to be painful, and I'm fully expecting them maybe even to go beyond that, just simply because there's so many quirks with the electricity in this place. Hey Keith. Ah, damn it, got a cough. Alrighty. Let's see if we do any better this time. I'm not really thinking... Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put the PCH under the microscope, like so, just in case it decides to explode. We've had a couple that have done that, so see, here we go. Here we go. Connecting. Holy crap, it actually powered up. That is unusual. That is unusual because almost all the time when you have a short on the 3v3 RTC or low resistance or something, it's a dead PCH. But this one, it's alive. I am very shocked. Very shocked indeed. Can't believe it. Damn thing's alive. That's not the kind of win you normally expect to see. Alright, now I have to fix up. This is the person that did this, they're a iPhone specialist. They're not actually... MacBooks are kind of like me with iPhones. They are with MacBooks. So there's some quirks that they might not have been aware of, such as, or maybe they were and they just put this back in to stop it floating around. Okay. Okay, so everything is taped together here. Now, thankfully, the 1466 is one of those kind of machines where these days I can pretty much tell you where every single screw goes. Getting that way with the things like the 1700s and, you know, the more modern machines, that's tape. There's a couple of tricky ones. I'll just get them all off the tape first and then we'll sort them out properly. Yeah, the 1466 does have a couple of, they're almost the same but they're not screws. A bit like the iPhone 5 and 6 when people would end up long screw damaging the life out of them. Rightio. Those two go there. Now, unfortunately, the only thing is I do need the microscope to see what I'm doing here. Okay, so they're hinge screws. These are heatsink screws. You can tell because they've got like fat cheese head tops on them. That's also one of them. This is as high as my microscope goes. Okay, you're all normal chassis. There should be one that's fractionally shorter. Not seeing it. What about you? Okay, that there is the heatsink retainer screw. Now, the one I'm missing is the one for the fan retention on the chassis, and it's slightly shorter. And if you use one of the normal ones, it will cut into the board a bit. It's actually not a problem. Is that you, Momo? Where are you? You're on the heat. You're on the. Where are you? Oh, what have you done? Okay, I'll be right back. Momo's trying to get in somehow. Milo, where are you? Momo, what are you doing up there? What are you doing? Trying to get my attention. Yeah? Do you want to jump down from the air conditioner? Okay. Come on, jump down. Oh, yeah, very good. Thanks. Just leap on my back. Yeah. Huh? Come on. Yeah, you little rat bag. He was on the air conditioner. He was calling through the. Like he's right there. Sorry. Yeah, it's amazing when you mow the yard. All of a sudden looks almost decent. Alright, he was on the air conditioner. Hey Jason, just see you turned up. Bum, bum, bum. No, it was actually Milo that was up to no good. He was on my air conditioner, which is behind me now, and he was doing his best to get my attention, which of course he did get. Alright, so... Yeah, there's one screw missing. It may have fallen out somewhere during transit, but there's definitely one screw missing. The other thing, if you're working on 1466s, it's much easier to take the battery out when it comes to trying to deal with those two flexes there. Otherwise, you kind of have to do some crazy plastic and finger gymnastics to get things to slot in. But if you take it out, it's all easy peasy. Okay, looks like DCM board's also been moved out. Yep. Are you the wrong? Okay, haha, yeah. Alright, so this is a fat cheese head screw. It's a long shank fat cheese head T5. That goes into here. That holds the bottom corner of the fan. And the fan, the DCM board just takes a normal, same length, but it's a chassis screw. Okay. Hey, Mr. Miser. Haha, you didn't get me that time, Mr. Miser. Hey, Brengale. Any luck from that 1706 from last? No, I have not had any further luck with that. I jumped onto some other jobs while I've been thinking about the prior time that I encountered something like that with the 1706. I'm just trying to remember before I do any more steps forward, as it were. Yeah, I don't know why I put paste on that, because I am going to be ultrasonicking this. I just want to put the heatsink on so that I can run it up on the tests to make sure I don't have other issues that I'm not aware of. Got the shakes a bit tonight. think I've got the shakes because I had a couple of very important data recovery jobs, and they were that close to not happening. Okay, that is the red one which goes into the top there. Okay. They actually have different color Loctite or whatever it is that they put on it. There's different colors for different areas. What did you do for data recovery? Oh, it was a board repair. It was a 2149 machine. The A20 1700 types. And then I had a 1041 before that. Unfortunately, the 1041 didn't make it. And then I had an earlier one, and it was a 820 850. And that thing was very unfortunate because it was a coke ingress job, and the MOSFET for switching 20 volts through for the USB-C, it welded itself to the board. And because of that extreme heat, it caused the board to delaminate, and unfortunately, being on that particular side that it was, it is the front left input, which is the important one. Like if you're doing a DFU recovery and things like that, that's the one you need. But that whole board is delaminated, and I got the CD3215s to behave. I didn't get 20 volts or anything, but they at least no longer were shorted out or overheating or anything like that. But it was too late, and then the T2 was dead. In the end, there's always something. You fight, you get through quite a bit, and in the end, there's something like a T2 to ruin your day. Unfortunately, this was the very dangerous type of Coke, the one that's got sugar in it. Sad to say, I'm sort of at about a 50% recovery ratio with most of these machines. I'd like to have higher, but yeah, sometimes you just can't do it. If someone's shorted the NAND, then that's it. I mean, it's not like you can magically make that NAND come to good again. So plug the battery in. The monks of Buckfast AV make a fortified wine called Buckfast. It's 50%, 15%, and 70 cl or ml, 70 milliliters, contains the equivalent caffeine of 6 cans of Coke. Oh hell no, that would be dangerous for me. Cues, I think they're probably equally bad in different kind of ways, but certainly once the heat starts happening, yeah, if you get electrical current going across it, they're both going to go bad because they're both going to carbonize. And once that carbonizing starts, it's a vicious cycle. It gets more and more power going through it. My nose is cloggy uppy. Oh, 700 milliliters. Oh, CU, right. Yeah, okay, meaning centi units. Yep. Okay. Just be right back. I just got to blow my nose. Used to the CI unit as opposed to milliliters or liters. Let's see if this keyboard's okay. Checking all escape caps. Okay. That looks good. I find Red Bull a little bit too sweet for my liking. I'm more of a V person, at least here in Australia. Oh, this is a 1.88, so this is a high-end 2017 machine, so I'm glad we got that recovered. And it's now running very nicely. I'm rather curious as to what killed that RTC chip. That's not normally how you see them die, but then again, there's always oddities like that. But this is running fine now, so I'll be able to ultrasonic that, send it back, job done. Thank goodness. Alright, and since it's already 11:30, we're going to make this a quick stream and I'm out of here, but appreciate you all dropping in. Coder, if you're still around, I hope there's a message waiting for me when I go back to my computer just now. So, I'm out of here. Gonna go play some 7 days and just kick back and relax for a couple of hours before starting off tomorrow and doing more work yet again. So you all take care. I'll see you next time. Catch you later.